What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to Tropico 5. My name is Splattercat, and it is a crisply warm evening here in California. I'm happy to welcome you to the channel one more time to take another look at Tropico 5. As I already previously said, in this episode we were going to expand our tourism trade. That was the big thing that we were looking for. We wanted to get some Shoebies in here, some people to make us a little bit of money buying knickknacks and nonsense from our island. But I realized that I owe myself a whole bunch of Teamsters unions. I try to go one Teamsters union per 100 citizens, and right now we only have 9 of them. And so I need to make sure that we put in at least 6 more in this episode. And I know that's a lot, but we're going to have to make it work for right now. So there's one right there. I think another one out here would probably be a good plan. And so that's 3. I need to build myself like 2 more. Over on this side, I think that it couldn't hurt. Well, I mean, I feel like I've got enough infrastructure over here to make everything work. Maybe... I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure on the Teamsters where I want to put them. Obviously, I don't want to overload or anything. But this should supply us with a whole lot of uneducated jobs, too. So we'll wait and see with these 4, but I've definitely been, I think that's where everything's falling down, because what I'm noticing is a lot of my production buildings are not really doing anything. They're just kind of sitting around right now. And I don't think it's necessarily due to the fact that there aren't enough, it might be that there's just no workers, to be fair. There might not be any personnel. I may need to expand my educational system and make sure that we've got a lot more people that are, we only have 3 graduates right there. But the high school, how are we doing? The high school has 13 out of 15. Might be a good time to expand my educational system too, just to make sure that we have the high-level workers that we need. The rebels are back again, and this time they are doing something. Oh, they're going after a rum factory. Okay. Well, the military should mobilize pretty shortly. But they're more than likely going to blow up the rum distillery before we can get over there. Because that is, I mean, they spawn out of just thin air, so unfortunately you can't cover every corner of the kingdom. It says we're winning the battle, but the tanks have, yeah. Let's go ahead and assassinate all these guys. Yeah, nice try, pal. I don't believe it. And so unfortunately we just lost a ton of money right there. It almost seems like a decent plan around all of your industry to just put around watchtowers everywhere. And while that seems slightly threatening, so our trade offer with the United States for pineapples has been completed. That means it's time. Oh, there's a tour ship. Okay, that's cool. We've got an extra, oh, we've got 2 extra ships right now, so we're importing. Let's take a look at our exports and figure out what we can make some money on. So we can export cocoa, but we don't really have any cocoa. We can export oil to the United States, which would make us a ton of money, but we're sort of using it right now. Let's go canned goods to... Oh, we need 80 standing with the USSR. Has it been 12 months? Can we praise them again yet? We're at 74. It is really, really difficult to get that kind of... It kind of creeps down over time, I guess. It's difficult to make sure that you have good diplomatic relations. I think... Oh, our approval rating is dropping too. That's funsies. Let me slow the game down for a little bit and make sure that I'm doing things properly. What we want to do now is put in entertainment buildings for all of the random Shoebies that are going to be joining us here. I'm going to try not to knock down trees while I do it, because that's kind of detrimental to this whole process. But we'll put in restaurants. We'll put in things for people to do. We'll also put in taverns. We'll put in beach sites. Probably a pretty good plan. And so these are kind of weird to place, by the way. In case you're wondering why I'm like fumbling around trying to get the building into place. They're very slippery. They're difficult to get a hold of, which is odd because they're made out of very rough wood. And so it's kind of this weird corner of getting splinters and also not being able to hold on to it. And so the tighter you grasp, the more splinters you get. And I feel like there's like a metaphor for relationships in there somewhere, but I'm just going to leave it alone. On this side, hopefully these become profitable at some point. We've got 5 tourist families already moved in. There's a bunch of cabs that are functioning already. That's good. Hopefully these beach sites will be popular. I don't know if these actually require workers or anything like that either. Over here on this side, it appears as though we've got a whole bunch of tourist families moved in there. Let's pause the game. We got $175,000 right now. It's probably a good time to start expanding this all out. Let me make sure that all my Teamsters are working at the capacity I need them to be working at too. How's our unemployment and whatnot doing right now? We're at 100 unemployed people. That is just... We need to expand faster. We need to expand very, very fast. We're kind of hitting this max speed thing where if there was ever a time for us to expand our tourist industry, I think this would be it. So let me pause the game for a little bit, and we're just going to do some basic renovations here to the island to ensure that everything's looking good. We'll just start dropping trees around, making sure that everything looks the way that tourists expect it to look. You know, tropical trees and all that shit. All those things that people like to see right outside of their resort. So there's a couple of gardens to make that look all nice. On this side, I think we're going to put in... We got to kind of segment where we want things to go. And so I think in the interest of segmentation, these hotels are all going to go over here because they're cheap, and I want to keep like the cheap stuff near the cheap stuff, the expensive stuff near the expensive stuff. You guys catch my drift. You get what I'm sending out. We need a hacienda for culture. And then we also need ecotourism. So the eco-tourists will more than likely be... Let's put in a road out to the forest here. There we go. And I'll probably put the eco-tourist huts in... like along this line right here so that they have all the trees and everything like that so it reminds them of, you know, whatever enclave they came from. So there's that. We'll go a couple more country hotels down here. See if we can't make a little bit of cash. A historic inn would be kind of cool, but that's for culture families. You can also go with these little eco cabins. And so I actually think that's probably a pretty good plan too. Just kind of line this thing with eco cabins. Oh, hell, I'm out of money. That was more expensive than I thought it was going to be. What did these cost? Let me get myself back into the black here. I didn't realize how expensive some of this stuff was. There we go. That should keep us okay for a little while. Let's let everything construct for a bit. Our imports should keep us above water for now. Or, I'm sorry, our exports. Yeah, we got a big export cycle coming, so it'll be okay. It says the rebels overpowered our defenses. Where? Kill him off. No more insurrections allowed. Although I may just be making it worse by killing more and more people. I don't know. Putting in the restaurant right there. Hoping we can make a bunch of money off of tourism. Those have already broken even, so they've made $9 in profit. We can go to Burger King now with our thriving tourist industry. I think a construction office is probably a pretty good thing to throw out here. We'll put in another parking lot just in case. And our population continues to grow at a rate that I barely can keep up with. We still have no workers over here. We'll increase the pay to see if we can entice a few more. As of right now, I do feel as though a lot of our educated people... Well, I think it's probably time to expand education a little bit further. So let's go back to welfare and media. How is freedom looking in all of our various areas, by the way? We're actually looking really, really free. I don't think we're going to have any problems with freedom right now. People are feeling delightfully unshackled at the moment. So what we need... A police station might work, though, too. To help out in some of these urban areas. There we go. So we'll put a police station in right there. Research and education. I think that it's probably a really, really good idea to put in another high school right there. And then another college over here, because I'm feeling like the place where I'm falling down on the job right now is I just can't keep my educated labor properly motivated or properly stocked. I feel like I have kind of a double-edged problem right there. And we're going to dip into the red briefly for the first time in a very, very long time, in fact, because all of these exports just got missed right there. I don't know why those did not go through. Maybe time for another dock over here. And so we have more rebels running around, but they're going to get wiped out by all of our guard towers, I think. And also our death squads. And so after they're all flagged, we're going to banish as many of them as possible. I don't want to bribe, I want to banish. There we are. And that should get rid of a pretty good chunk of all those little guys. Awesome, another battle won by El Presidente's Wisdom. We could probably go with another dock, which is what I was focusing on previously. And I think it would be best served like right here. How to distribute some of the exports that we're getting through these two locations, and maybe clip a little bit off the end of these guys right here as well. Back up to $59,000. Let's have a look at our tourist resorts. We want to make sure that people are getting paid well out here at the beach resorts, which are dipping down into the sand briefly. But it's a place for all of our Shoebies to go and hang out and wear socks with their sandals and whatever it is that when people go on vacation, they do. I'm not really so sure. I don't seem to ever go on vacation. It's a foreign idea to me. It is a thing that I'm not familiar to. There's another one of our larger buildings completed. We'll increase the budget to make sure that it's offering the best that it possibly can to all of our outsiders that have decided to join us. And furthermore, well, I mean, things are looking okay right now. We just really need to ramp up the production of A, our educated labor, and then B, once we do that, we should be able to fill our factories a little bit better. Yeah, see, they don't even have remotely the amount of workers that they need. We go back to my embassy. We will praise the USSR one more time. Let's go ahead and pause the game, and that means we should be able to export now. Although the deals may no longer be on the table. We can export oil to the United States. I'm not seeing any trade opportunities that look incredibly enticing right now. Most of them are things that I already am making use of inside of my own industry. I'm going to import a little bit more coal. And I'll import a little bit more natural gas. Although I think those were the ones that I already had on rotation. Not a whole lot of other great options right there. Everything else is looking a little bit less than satisfactory on my end. I should probably export something, though, to make a little bit of extra money. Got one ship left. Let's find something to export. Just anything, really. Sure, let's export cotton to the USSR. Anything to make a little bit of extra scratch on top, because we do have all these industries around that are doing their thing, so we might as well make sure that every single ship is being utilized. Now, we do have shacks popping up over here, which leads me to believe that maybe people need housing. I think that was another problem that I ran into when I played Tropico 4, is that the tourist workers, all the people that work in your industry, need places to live. Otherwise, it does not work out so well for them. So let me segment out a little bit of room right here. And we'll put in a few more apartment buildings. There we go. And what we'll do is we'll kind of put in like gardens or something over here to make this look a little bit better. So for example, we got like luxury entertainment. We can drop in a museum. I don't know what's going to be. A national park might not be a terrible plan. There we go. We'll put in a national park right there so that there's more tourist attractions for people to jump on into. It's probably going to take forever for these apartment buildings to get constructed, basically because a construction office, we have a construction office, it's just kind of bogged down at the moment with all the ridiculous construction that's going on. The eco-hippies should be pretty happy with what I'm building them over here. Hopefully they'll be wealthy as well so that we can make a bunch of money. On this side, it looks like our hotels are making a reasonable amount of cash. I mean, it's a little bit of money, so I think it's going to be a trickle over time. Oh, good. Another set of rebels that are after us. And where are they? They're trying to blow up one of my plantations. Yeah, it'll be destroyed before they get there. I may put in a couple of guard towers along the front end of all this.
You fight like wussies.
I don't think they'll go bother anything else, though. I think after they blow up that first building, they're just done. So let me... That keeps getting hit over here, so... It may be time to kind of consolidate and make sure that this doesn't happen any longer. This is going to lower the cumulative freedom in the area, but it'll make sure that we stop getting our industry whacked left and right by douchebags with AKs. And so if I can solve that, that's kind of a major thing that I don't have to worry about any longer. Make sure that all these apartments, yeah, that filled up instantly, so I think we have a deficit in housing over on this side of the island. We should see a lot of these shacks disappear over time. Come through with a bulldozer and get rid of these things, and while that won't make us popular on the international front once these tourists go home and talk about what they saw us doing, for now it'll work. There we are. This should ensure that over the coming couple days, or the coming couple months, we should see the shacks diminish up and over here in our touristy area. I'm also going to put in a couple of luxury entertainment buildings in here. Oh, we're outside of the electrical grid, so maybe I should handle that first too. We'll drop a substation right there. We'll drop a substation right there. We'll drop a substation out here. And we're going to quick build all of those because you had all recommended that it was really, really a good idea to quick build all of your substations because construction workers tend to put those like on the back burner and don't mess with them for long periods of time. So we'll do that first. Homelessness is now, well, it's slightly down. We have a lot of open jobs, but they're going to be for high school educated people, and almost everybody is grade school educated. So we just need to continue pumping out more jobs for the people that don't have an education. These houses should take care of us for a long while on that end. And then we're going to put in some entertainment and recreation. So we'll put in a large garden over here. Well, maybe we'll put in a water park or something over here. Or like a circus. There we go. We'll put in a circus. People like circuses, right? Aside from the clowns, there doesn't appear to be a whole lot of things wrong with the circus. Put in a cabaret right there. We'll put in a casino right there. We'll put in a museum right here. And then the plan is to go back through and for tourism and beauty, we'll just put in a couple of gardens right there to make up for the fact that we're developing this entire area. Let me look at how this is going right here. Gonna beautify this area a little bit further. Let's ramp up the services at each of the eco motels. Cool. And these are actually already making money. $105 in profit already, and they haven't even been up that long. So the ecotourism might be a really good plan for making a lot of money fast. I can't tell right now. That's just something that I'm sort of extrapolating by comparison. Oh, never mind. These economy motels might be the best way to go. That's fairly impressive, in fact, how much money they're making. Okay, so instead of resting on our laurels, I do want to continue to produce as rapidly as I can. I almost said as fapidly as I can. And I definitely don't want to be producing fapidly. That would be embarrassing for all parties involved, and I think I might get banned. Culture tourism. Service quality is increased for each colonial building nearby. I don't have any colonial buildings, so cultural tourism might not be a good call for us. That might be something that we will find to be lackluster by comparison to, say, ecotourism, which we're well stocked for. With the economy hotels, we've got no more. Let's continue putting in economy hotels everywhere that there's no trees, basically. And then we'll also put in family resorts here and there. Just as long as we don't have to destroy anything to get it done. And that puts us in the red for a little while. Those buildings are way more expensive than I expected them to be, but I think that's largely due to the fact that they are really, really powerful output buildings. Like, you make a lot of money for doing nothing when you put down tourism. I wanted to get tourism set up in this episode, and I think we've done a reasonably decent job. We're not quite there yet. Like, I'm not happy with our entertainment at the moment. I want there to be more stuff for our tourists to do so that they spend more money, so they spend a little bit more scratch while they're out there. Still, we're doing all right. Got a big export waiting right here, and I think this one should dig us out of the red for the moment. I'm going to break the episode off a little bit early right now because I am just going to be sitting around waiting for our cash flow to get back up to where it was previously. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the Nerd Castle for another episode of Tropico 5. I look forward to seeing all of you in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody, and hi-do.